Hi, it's Jim and Sydney.
We're back.
Welcome to the next episode in the series on how to build the best website. In this episode, we're going to cover the basics of choosing your web host.
More exactly, we are going to cover how to make the right decision in picking a web host or web hosting service provider.
But first, let's go over what a web host is and what they do. To be as concise as possible, but not get into the fine print, a web hosting provider is the digital counterpart of a logistics company. It's a service that stores all of your data files, keeps your digital inventory, and then delivers that digital inventory to the person that requested it, your visitor. While there are many excellent providers, there are a few that are better than the rest.
For that reason, we will go through the points of those that we feel the best of the rest should possess. But first, what do you need your web hosting company to provide? This question relates to what is the objective of your website and what type of format it should use.
Before picking a hosting company, you need to realize what you want to accomplish with the website. That is, what is your audience, and what do you want them to get from their visit? Here are some of the significant whys and wherefores of site formats that you need to consider before choosing your hosting company.
Be aware that not all hosting companies fit all of these site structures. For example, some web providers do not offer very simple features or services, but specialize in the needs of more demanding website environments. So if your needs are fairly basic, such as if your website is just meant to share personal info, conversations, pictures, and contact with family and friends, then you don't need a highly technical provider with vast dedicated storage capacity that can be costly.
Near the other end of the range, there are different website environments that may be considerably more challenging, such as for business or professional use. Still again, there are website formats directed only toward being informational or educational, providing vast amounts of data well beyond having a simple format.
Your website may be one that is about community building, where you share ideas with those that have the same interests as you. Or you intend to showcase your work or craft, so that the public has the opportunity to view your talents and creative nature.
Unlike the personal, professional, or business promoting website, your web hosting service may need the ability to handle a growing digital version of what is actually a product brochure. As the product line grows, can it sustain the ability to create and maintain an online platform for your products? There are also the demanding capabilities of handling an e-commerce site, which has a uniquely different set of demands. We're talking about handling hundreds or thousands of stock keeping units offered for sale, as well as who knows how many shipments to track, all part of being an online merchant with a digital storefront. Since web hosting companies cater to particular categories, it's wise to review the information highlighted at the top of their homepages. That area of their website tells what they specialize in, what they want to sell, and usually indicates what their price leaders are. Considering that there are so many hosting companies, there is one that will suit your requirements, but make sure that their scope of services is not too narrow. There will be a problem in the future if your requirements change.
Some website owners think that there is little difference between one web hosting company and another. Because of that mistaken impression, we're going to break down the process of picking a hosting service into 6 keys over a few episodes.
First, how reliable is their service? Simply put, what is the reliability of their uptime? Being online and up and running is known as uptime. If a host goes down and suspends service, that can be extremely unfortunate for you, and can also be expensive if you are trying to make a living at it. In recent history, one major hosting company went down for 4 hours on Black Friday. Can you imagine the effect of that happening? Hosting centers with dual or backup servers in the same data center have a good chance of avoiding this type of disaster. But what is even more desirable are those with duplicate servers and multiple data centers scattered in various locations across the globe. This strategy provides an even better chance of staying viable on the internet if something horrific happens.
The next item addresses the question, what are their performance standards?
Performance standards cover 3 major characteristics. Number 1, their data transfer. Number 2, their bandwidth. And number 3, their download speed, or data speed. Let's use a visual to help explain what all of this means. As the graphic shows, we have a 5-gallon water bottle and a funnel. The bottle has all of the water that we are allowed to pour over the prescribed period. This represents the data transfer we're allowed to use per month. From that 5-gallon bottle, the water pours into the funnel. The funnel will only hold a gallon of water at most when filled to its top, this being our bandwidth. The funnel, like the bandwidth, restricts the maximum volume of water or data that can be transferred at any one time. As with funnels, it narrows down from the wide opening at the top to the bottom of the flared area, and then to the narrowest part of the funnel. However, even though the funnel will hold a gallon, the neck of the tube restricts the flow. The narrow neck of the funnel slows down the flow of the water, which is just like your data speed. The rate of flow is down to a few ounces per second because of this, even though the body of the funnel will hold a gallon of water. Similarly, the hardware and monitoring of the hosting provider limit the data speed, just like that narrowest part of the funnel.
It is universally accepted that slow speeds lose visitors. That is why a hosting provider on a CDN should be considered essential if page loading times are critical.
What is a CDN? CDN is an acronym for Content Delivery Network. This type of system uses multiple servers, based in various parts of the world, to transmit web page data depending upon the geographic location of the user. That is, the server closest to the ultimate user supplies the service. That's the web equivalent of the supply chain theory that most modern industries rely on today. Other hosting features that can increase performance are caching, and the use of solid-state drives, or SSDs, versus conventional hard drives. The caching helps to preload parts of the site on the visitor's computer. What happens is the random access memory, commonly called RAM, has portions of the website loaded into the visitor's computer memory automatically, and temporarily. This allows quicker access to the data, while preventing the visitor from sitting in front of a blank screen, waiting for something to appear.
If it takes too long for something to appear, guess what happens?
The visitor moves on to the next source, and away from your site. That's why caching is important. There is another concern that you should have, as a website owner, which you may think is being very obscure. But it's not. This point has to do with the other performance item mentioned earlier, the type of data storage drives the web host uses. Solid-state or SSDs, versus hard disk drives, or HDDs. While solid-state drives are much faster at accessing the data, they are also more reliable than hard drives, because solid-state drives do not have any moving parts. To make the point, the failure rate of a hard drive is 31.4% higher than a solid-state drive. The number of web hosting services still using hard drives, or a combination of solid-state and hard drives, has become considerably less widespread. But they are still out there, and given the cost versus benefit analysis, pick the host that is all solid-state.
To help you with your choice, we have provided a link in the Show More section below. It brings you to an area on our website that includes a review of several web hosting services.
Thanks for watching, and look for the next episode, which continues with the subject of how to choose your web hosting company. See you then. To get the entire printed series, click the download link in the description below for our free ebook. Also, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like. We appreciate your support. And please leave a comment. Stay with us to see some of the other episodes in this series. The one on the left is the prior episode, which covers some of the basics you needed to know about domain names. And the other one deals with additional info involving how to select the best web hosting provider for your website. See you there.